Welcome to Pet Pals. I'm Dee Dee and this is Randy, and we are here to introduce you to some adoptable animals available at Frederick County Animal Control on Rosemont Avenue. And our first guest this morning is Oreo. And Oreo, as you can plainly see, is a domestic shorthair, black and white. She is a female who has already been spayed, and she is 1 year old. And she's actually 2 years old, just two. She was adopted from the shelter with her sister when she was a kitten, and her family brought her back as they agreed to do. Anyone who adopts from us, we ask that you bring animals back if you can't keep them. And her owner did so because she's moving to a place that doesn't allow pets. And one of the things we try to do when we talk to people at adoption is to introduce that idea that if you are getting a pet, especially puppies and kittens, they're going to live 12, 15 years, and you need to think about where you're going to be during that time, what things might affect your family to the best of your ability, and to have a way of including your pet as a member of the family in whatever transitions take place. But we are always welcome to support our animals by taking them back. What happened? If they need it. So Oreo is in need of a second home. We would ideally like to keep Oreo and her sister together. So if you were thinking about adopting two cats and worried that they might not get along, then this might be your answer, is adopting two that we know get along very well and have been together for their entire life. One thing that yes, I was just going to talk about that. I'm glad that Randy brought that up. One thing that about Oreo and her sister that they have going for them in the way of adoption is that they've both been declawed, but it kind of goes against them in the futures that we can offer them. They can't ever be able to go outside, and they need to be understood that as they get older, they might have signs of arthritis from having that surgery. Research says that overall, declawing doesn't cause any significant changes in the entire population of cats compared to a population of cats that are not declawed. However, if you adopted a puppy from us and the puppy chewed up the remote control, and you called and told me, my puppy chewed up the remote control, if I suggested to you that you go to a qualified veterinarian and have the puppy sedated and have all the teeth removed so that he would not have to be trained and he just simply couldn't chew things anymore, most people would be horrified by that. Most veterinarians would refuse to do it. But for some reason, culturally, we are okay with removing the toes of a cat. And as much as we would love to change that, it is still routinely done. Veterinarians are perfectly capable of doing it in a humane way, and cats are given pain medicine. But we would really like to change that so that people understand that cats are pointy and that they need training, and we can help you with information about how to do that. In the meantime, Oreo and her sister are already declawed, and they are available to somebody who would prefer cats that are declawed. So if you think that Oreo would make a nice addition to your family, or you know someone who might like her, then please consider passing her picture around or coming to the shelter to meet her. She's very curious.
Oh, being scared.
It's okay. We are back with our next guest. This is Bella. Bella, as you can see, is a brown tabby domestic shorthair, and she came to us, owner relinquished, and she has a lot going for her. First of all, she's super cute. She has really short legs. She's a tiny little petite cat, very easy to handle, even though she's trying to hide right now. Maybe she's just, hasn't worked out her contract with us for this episode, but she is, she let us trim her nails and clean her ears, and just is a really cute cat. The reason I think that she's so easygoing is because she came from a household with dogs, other cats, kids of all ages, so she has lots of experience. She's 6 years old, And the reason that that's important is because, you know, cats live 15, 16, even 18 or 20 years. So she's not even middle-aged yet, but the 6-year, hi, the 6-year age means that she has all that experience behind her, much more mellow than the kitty you just met, Oreo, who hasn't seen as many things, been as many places. And we color code our cats. And Bella is color-coded blue for a lap cat that's very willing to be with lots of different people and animals. And Oreo, that you just met, was color-coded green. And you could see the evidence of that, less experience, because when one of our animal caretakers came into the room off camera, she was startled and she couldn't see, and that worried her. Whereas Bella is talking to the same caretaker, saying, you know, where's my breakfast? Can you get me out of this TV spot? Just a much more interactive, confident cat, which if you are less experienced as a cat owner, then Bella is probably the cat for you, because she'll tell you everything you need to know. If you think that Bella would make a nice match for you or someone that you know, then please talk to us at the shelter, come by and meet her, or find her picture on Pet Finder and pass it around. She is intently watching the rabbits get their breakfast. So she has a lot of curiosity and bravery, and that will serve her well, adjusting to a new circumstance.
I'll introduce you to Ella. You won't like that.
We are back with our next guest, Tiny, and Tiny is domestic short hair again. Obviously, he's all white and beautiful yellow eyes. One thing about white cats is they sometimes can be deaf, and Tiny is not deaf. He can hear perfectly fine. One of the things I hope to convey to you about this particular cat is the sad story that he is 7 years old. He was given to the shelter with a companion cat because his owner is having a baby. Now, we have recently posted on our Facebook page some information about what to do when you have pets and are expecting a baby. And obviously here at the shelter, we feel pretty strongly that pets should be part of the family. And we do understand that there are situations beyond people's control. But I think it's a real tragedy for someone to give up one family member when the family is expanding to include another. So what I would recommend if you have pets is talk to trainers, talk to the shelter if you think that your family planning is going to interfere with your pet ownership, because it shouldn't, and we can help you with transition ideas and things you can do to make it easy. But if you do decide that you cannot keep both your pets and your growing family, then it is certainly fine for you to find a new home for your pet on your own. And if you are interested in doing that, please call the shelter. One of the things that we try to tell people who bring pets to the shelter is that we get 6,000 animals a year, and we cannot find homes for them all. So we really encourage people, if you have any other options, to take those options. Obviously, once friendly, healthy animals are in the shelter on the adoption floor, they're not going to run out of time. We're not going to say, oh, you've been here a month and we can't find you a home, so that's all we can do. But what happens is when we keep lovely trained cats like this, then we run out of space for cats that have issues. Not that any of you want to adopt cats with issues, but some people will. We have generous people who will take shy cats, or cats that don't get along with dogs, or cats that have particular fears, but we cannot help those cats when we are full with happy, well-adjusted cats. So Tiny has going for him lots of experience in a busy family, and he also is declawed. So if you are interested in a cat and you think that Tiny would be the right cat for you, please let us know. Come by the shelter, meet him, meet all of our cats. We sometimes have upward of 200 animals in this building. We get an average of 15 new ones a day. So certainly if you do not see the pet you want today, let us know. We'll keep an eye out for you. We can call you when we get the pet of your dreams. We want to try to place as many of the animals that we get as we possibly can, and Tiny certainly deserves a second chance. So if you are interested, please let us know. We are back with Precious, who is just a gorgeous cat, as you can see. She is gray tabby, but she has long hair. It's very, very soft. Precious is a 6-year-old spayed female, and she came to us from some people who got her from a friend. And she is also declawed. And I did want to mention that my disapproval of declawing cats comes from a couple of things. Number one is the experience of having cats all my life and always training them not to get on my kitchen counters and not to scratch my belongings, and having great success with that. So I would be happy to help you do the same. Teach your cats not to damage anything, and then you don't have to have their toes removed. But it also comes from my sister, Dr. Blunt, in Texas, and my late husband, Richard Clement, here in Maryland, being veterinarians who refuse to declaw cats for medical reasons, health reasons. So I am also basing it on good information, not simply my compassion for cats and keeping their toes, but also based on information from at least 2 veterinarians who felt that it isn't necessary, and it is kind of our obligation as cat caretakers to live with them as they are and learn to communicate with them how best they can fit in and the behaviors that we accept and don't accept. But there are still many people who would not adopt a cat that was not declawed, and as you can see, we have 3 here in the shelter. One of the arguments I've heard in favor of declawing is that it helps cats keep their home. And we have evidence today to the contrary. 3 cats that are declawed in the shelter, it didn't help them keep their home. So I want to discourage declawing where I can, but certainly these are lovely cats that need a second chance. So if it's something that you would like, a cat that's declawed, then please get one where that's already been done.
She's been here a while.
And yes, she has been here a while. We get, as I said, 6,000 animals a year, and she is number 190 since July 1, and Oreo, who you met earlier today, was already 374. So she's been here some time. I'm thinking one of the reasons that people don't pick a long-haired cat is they believe that they shed more, and that's simply false. All cats shed, and it does not depend on the length of the hair at all. So you need to meet the cat that you're interested in, pet them, and see. Also, even if a cat is a low shedding individual, during the spring and fall, they will have a change of coat, so you'll notice more shedding seasonally. It is affected by the photoperiod, which means how long the day is light. So it has nothing to do with indoor or outdoor. One of the ways you can really cut down on shedding of cats is just brush them, and Precious enjoys it. So would not be hard to do at all. She does a great job of keeping her coat lovely and clean, but if you would enjoy a lap cat that you could brush, then she's the one for you. Let us know, and we'll make that match. We are back with TJ, and TJ is between 1 and 2 years old. He came to us as a stray. And what a great cat. First of all, he's gorgeous, but second of all, he's very bold and outgoing and friendly and accepting and social. This is exactly the reason that people are often surprised by our stray cats in Frederick County. Is obviously he knows people. He's probably been fed by a person. He's clearly been touched by people, but someone found him, no collar, no microchip, no ID of any kind, brought him into the shelter, and of course, no one has come forward to claim him, so he's looking for a new home. He's huge and just a gorgeous, wonderful cat, and I am always surprised by how lovely stray animals can be, and often people prefer to adopt a cat whose history they can find out about, because the cat was owned by people who wrote a long profile. But sometimes you just don't get to know. So secret agent TJ is not telling about his past, and it really doesn't matter, because what he has to offer is everything anyone would want in a cat. He is gorgeous and friendly and smart and will make somebody really happy. He's also very young, which means the potential is that he could even get bigger. So, you know, if you like big cats, then he is definitely the one for you. So we're going to take a break and get some other animals ready for you. Thanks for joining us and meeting our adoptable cats at Frederick County Animal Control. And after the break, we'll be back with more and hope you join us.
If you're 55 or older and looking for a way to get moving and strengthen your body, then join the Frederick Senior Center for its strength training class. This class is offered daily and no pre-registration is required. For just $2 a class, you can develop strength, flexibility, balance, and coordination. Strength training also increases your metabolism, which can help control weight gain and help lower your blood pressure. So stop thinking about it and start exercising today. Classes are offered at the Frederick Senior Center, located at 1440 Taney Avenue in Frederick. For more information and class schedules, call 301-600-1605.
Before, addiction and depression kept me from living my life. And now, every step I take in recovery benefits everyone. There are many options that make the road to recovery more accessible. It begins with the first step. Join the Voices for Recovery. For information and treatment referral for you or someone you love, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
We are back at Pet Pals at Frederick County Animal Control with some adoptable dogs for you to meet. And our first guest is Bella. We previously met Bella the cat. This is Bella the dog. And Bella is a miniature pinscher. She is very sweet and just a year old. She is used to kids. She is finishing up her house training and is available for adoption. We will spay her. Obviously, when you adopt from us, you get a dog who is started on vaccinations and wormed, and we give you a little session of how to house train and get her used to your house, and we will make it as easy for you as we can. One of the things about Bella's age is that she's the perfect age because she's young enough, 1 year old, to still have all the things that you want in a puppy, which means you want her to bond to you, you want her to fit into your house and not have expectations other than what you can offer. But she is also old enough to complete her house training in just a few days and to be calm enough that you can take her out and about as soon as you get the okay from your vet. And she's lovely. So a lot of people do look for smaller dogs with short hair that are easy to train. So voila, you could ask for more. And because she has the experience already with kids, that will really help her out so that she could fit into pretty much any situation that you have to offer her. If you are interested in Bella or a dog like her, please let us know and come by and meet her and see what you think. We are back with our next guest, Marshall, and Marshall is a Parsons Russell Terrier, also known as a Jack Russell Terrier. An interesting story that he has, he's from 8 to 10 years old. We can't be sure because he's a stray, but he was found on Musseter Road with a black harness trailing a leash. So someone was attached to this dog as recently as 10 days ago, but we are not able to find that person. He didn't have a tag on his collar, he didn't have a microchip. So one of the things that you hear me say all the time if you watch the show is how shocked I am at how many dogs end up here technically considered stray, but clearly previously owned, and no one comes to the only shelter in Frederick County to look for their dog. So, yes, I realize that. So Marshall is in need of a second chance, a new home. He has plenty of experience to offer. He's a great little dog. Walks well on a leash, sits when you ask him to, likes food, has lots of energy, and is just friendly with everybody. So if you have always wanted a Parsons Russell, Jack Russell Terrier, but we're a little worried about their energy level, then Marshall might be the dog for you. And clearly, because we found him, we named him Marshall. That's not his real name. If you know of a dog that's missing in the Musseter Road area, please contact the owner. because I'm sure he would love to see his family again. It's just that we are here to hold animals until their family comes to find them, and if that doesn't happen, find them a great new family that will love them just as much. We are back with our next guest, Dan. And Dan has been on the TV show before, and I am showing him again because he's still here, and what a nice dog. Dan is a coonhound, probably a treeing Walker coonhound. The nice thing about Walker coonhounds is they do not move at the fast pace of some of the other coonhounds. So you can walk him down the street and expect to not have to go off at a lope. He is a short-haired dog. He is friendly to people, but we are going to expect somebody who loves hounds to come and get Dan because he's all hound all the time. So we originally put him on the TV show as a stray because we found him and brought him into the shelter and couldn't find his owner. But we were able to locate his owner, and they don't want him anymore. But it means we have a little bit more information about him. He was someone's pet. He wasn't just a hunting dog. And he is definitely in need of, you know, somebody who can give him a second chance. It's obviously, people say all the time, I could never work in the shelter, it's too hard. But I don't believe that's true at all, obviously, or I wouldn't be here. But what we get to do every day is meet a bunch of wonderful animals that are quite deserving and help them get a new start in life. And what could be better than that? And Dan is one of those animals. Look at his tail. He loves people. He loves smelling things. He's a smart dog, but he is definitely going to need somebody who understands he's a big dog. He needs to do stuff. He needs to go hiking and travel around and see the world. So if you are interested in a dog like Dan, I've completely bored him, then please come by and meet him. Let us know. Look it up on the internet. Look up treeing Walker coonhounds. You're going to see a lot of good things, and he has a lot to offer.
Talking to me? You talking to me?
You want to say something?
You hear that bay? Uh-oh.
Cookies. And we are back with Spencer, and Spencer is the dog that everyone says they want. He is only a year old, maybe a little bit younger than a year. And he has a giant head. He's mostly Labrador Retriever, but Spencer is going to need a very special person to adopt him because he's shy. He's really afraid of new people. He's nervous of the slippery floor. Most likely, it's because he lived outside and doesn't have a lot of experience indoors. So when you take him outside, totally different dog. Forward on the leash, excited, smelling everything. So he is going to be everything that a lab should be, which is robust and friendly. But since he hasn't walked on stairs and hasn't been on linoleum too much, he gets really shy, especially in circumstances like this where we have a camera looking right at Spencer. And the biggest thing about Spencer is his age. He's going to get bigger. So we are going to have to find somebody who really loves a really big dog. And Spencer came to us as a stray. So me saying that he probably lived outside is just a guess. We don't know for sure. But he's much more comfortable outside in open spaces. And he worries about coming in, going through hallways, walking on shiny things. So as you can see, he definitely loves people and he has a lot to offer. But with puppies, we take 4 applications and then pick the best match so that we can pick somebody that has big dog experience, puppy experience. He'll need to be house trained, possibly crate trained. And a lot of times people will say, oh, I don't want to use a crate. It's mean to put a dog in a cage. We completely agree that a dog should not live in a cage. That is no life for a dog. That's why we have 6-foot runs here, and we use the full double run whenever we can so that they have 12 feet. They have a yard outside with pens outside to try to minimize any cage time. But there is nothing wrong with using a crib for a baby while you sleep, and that's what a crate should be, a place where he can be when you are not paying attention to him so that he can safely experience the world and learn all the things he needs to learn to be the dog that he could be, as big as he is. So if you are interested in a huge dog, then Spencer might be the right dog for you. Please let us know. We are back with our last guest for this show. This is Honey. Honey is only a year old, and she is part Chihuahua, part Pomeranian. She is a lovely little dog, and she came to us after a sad family tragedy. Her owner was hospitalized and won't be able to take care of her anymore, and family members are going to be taking care of her owner, so they're not going to be able to take care of a puppy. And she is a cute, friendly, outgoing little dog, would make someone a great little companion. She's already spayed and has had her picture taken and is in Pet Finder, and she is greatly interested in all of the studio smells, things she could do. So if you think a small little dog like Honey would make a nice match for you or someone that you know, please consider coming by the shelter to meet her. You could also look up her picture on Pet Finder and pass that around to interested parties. And if you have thought about what you could do for the shelter other than adopt, then I can let you know. You can volunteer your time. We take sheets and blankets, old pet supplies. You can even volunteer for the shelter in the comfort of your own home. Who knew? What we need for people to do is to post profiles on Pet Finder. We need people to call adopters and see how things are going and let us know if there's any training tips people need or help that we can give them along the way. So there are plenty of ways that you can help, and certainly adoption is one of the biggest and instant for us. So thank you for joining us on Pet Pals. If you are interested in helping out at the shelter or in any of the pets that you've seen today, please call us at 301-600-1546. Come by the shelter on Rosemont. 1832 is our address. We're near Pizza Hut. And you may also, hello cutie, you may also, I know, look at her tail. She's really a happy little girl. You can also share pictures around Pet Finder, and there are plenty of ways that you can be of service to the shelter. And finally, for the dogs, check out the episodes of Pet Pal past and present at the link below, and we hope we see you again next time.